everybody, my name is Kay and welcome to my kitchen. This is our final week of the Philadelphia Cream Cheese Cooking Contest second season, and this is our second week of dessert week, and I have 3 terrific desserts that I'm going to be making for you guys, but I'm only going to be doing one in this particular video. So you'll have to catch the other 2 to get the other. We're going to be cooking a wonderful dessert today, and it is called my wonderful Pecan Macaroon cream cheese with a Apricot-Peach compote. Oh my God, this dish is awesome. And you can do it several different ways, and I'll show you. But this is one dessert that I tell you gives you a gourmet wow factor, and your friends and family are going to love it. I am actually going to be fixing this dessert to take to my brother's house, so I'm going to be making miniature ones, because if you make it on a bigger scale, the macaroons won't be able to, they'll get soggy, and we don't want that. That's not going to be good. So I'm going to make them in a smaller scale, but I will also, you can also make them in a bigger scale by using a bigger base for it. So anyhow, I want to go over a few things that we're going to be using, and tell you guys why we're going to be using them. And that is what we're going to discuss. One of the things you're going to need is you're going to need either your handheld mixer, or you're going to be needing your mixing bowl or stand mixer. So, and you're going to also need a food processor, or you're going to have to be chopping a lot of things by hand, and that's not going to be too fun, and it's going to take more time. So I would say you need to have a chopper of some sort. Then also I have a scale that I purchased, very inexpensive, but I used it so that I can measure the quantity of the pecans that I'm going to be using, because I wanted to make sure I had the right ratio for this dessert. I have several eggs here because we're going to be making the macaroons are like a meringue. That's the best way to put it. It's like a meringue cookie, a very sweet, very lovely type of cookie that you guys are going to just love. I also have parchment paper, and because, like I said, that I'm making them on a smaller scale, I use like a smaller tin that I have, and I use the bottom base for it, and I kind of made my circles on this just so that you can see. And you can do this way in advance. You can get your kids to help you do it, and cut out the circles so you have nice little circles like this that we'll be putting on a cookie sheet. The other thing is, if you wanted to make it on a bigger scale, you would just take and use your baking pan, an 8-inch baking pan, and make the same circles on an 8-inch baking pan using the outline of an 8-inch baking pan. So what we're going to get started with first is going ahead and making the wonderful, wonderful pecan macaron. The first thing that we're going to have to do to make this dessert is we have to take and make our macaroons. So I'm going to put the pecans into my food processor, and then I'm going to grind them down to a really fine grind, almost like a flour. So that's the consistency. It's going to have a little bit of chunks in there, but it's going to be pretty fine all the way around. So that's all we're going to do. Section of sugar, you should have a flourly like consistency like this. The next thing we need to do is we have to make like a meringue. So I have my egg whites here. We're going to be putting those into my stand mixer, and then you will need the whisk. If you don't have this, you'll have to put the whisk on your hand mixer, and then we'll beat that with the salt until we get like a soft peak on medium. And then what we'll do is we'll incorporate the sugar in little at a time until it's all in there, and then we'll turn the speed up to high, and it'll take a total of 3 minutes to get the peaks where we want it to a nice stiff peak. That's all we're looking for, with a little glossiness but a nice stiff peak on the meringues. So that's what we're going to do next. This is about the consistency that you want for a medium peak. Okay, in the next step, I'm going to take half of my meringue, and I'm going to fold it into the pecans and the powdered sugar. So all I'm doing is just lightly folding it in, trying not to deflate much of the eggs. And once I get done folding these in, the next step is I'm going to take about 2 tablespoons, and I'm going to put it on each one of the round circles and spread it out to it's about a half of an inch thick, and then we're going to bake them for 25 minutes on 300 degrees. until we have some real, or to the edges are just like a little golden brown, but not too brown. So it depends on your oven on how long you will let them bake, but they should not be longer than 25 in. Egg whites is just, you're like cutting it in half and just doing a circular motion, and that's how you fold in, just in case you don't know how to fold in an ingredient. That's what they're asking you to do. This is the motion. While the pecan macaroons are baking, it's time to make our second layer, which is our apricot-peach layer, which I have here is the apricots. Remember, I was saying that we need to make them very fine. Well, I'm a little lazy. I don't want to chop by hand. So if you want to do exactly what I did, I have a small chopper. I just put all the apricots in there and I let it do all of the work for me. So now I have fine apricots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the water and the apricots in a pot to make the compote, and I'm going to let it cook for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to turn the stove off, and then I'm going to stir in the peach preserves, and then it's going to come together and it's going to be very lovely, and that's what's going to go on top of the macaroon. Then after that, we're going to make this wonderful, wonderful cream cheese top that's going to go on, which is my third layer. So I'll be right back, and we're going to put that layer together. Okay, the next part is our third layer that I was telling you, which puts it and sets it all together. We'll be using this entire 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. I will also be mixing in amaretto, sour cream, and heavy whipping cream. And then, of course, as you've seen earlier with the pralines, I've just taken them off. They're still kind of warm. So once they finish cooling, then I'll take half, almost all of it, except for I'm going to leave a little bit of a fourth of it so I can put on top. But I'm going to put all of that into this mixer and mix it together until it's all smooth. If you don't like, as my mother doesn't believe in putting alcohol into a dessert, but you know, it's done all the time, and this is just amaretto. If you don't want to use amaretto and you have the same feel as my mom, you can always use about 2 tablespoons of vanilla would be just fine as well if you don't want to use the amaretto. So what's just went in there now is the heavy whipping cream. Now I'm going to put in the sour cream, and then I'm going to put in the entire box, 8 ounces of the Philadelphia cream cheese is going in next. I'm going to beat this on medium until it's all smooth and it all comes together. And then this will be another layer that'll be on my wonderful, wonderful Napoleons. So I cannot wait. Wow, ladies, it's that time to make this wonderful, wonderful dessert. And like I said, you know, they come out, the cookies are excellent, the macaroons, and we have our compote, and then we have our wonderful Philadelphia cream cheese icing. I won't say icing, but filling that's going to go on the inside. And I have taken the pecans, the praline pecans, and I have mixed them in there as well. And to put this together, you just put down a cookie or a macaroon, and then you put down the wonderful Apricot-Peach compote. Then you put on a dollop of the wonderful Philly cream cheese, and then you put on a cookie, macaroon, and then you put on, again, some more of the peach. And like I said, if you do this, you want to keep the macaroon crunchy, so if you put that on the peach apricot preserve on there and you leave it too long, it's going to make the actual macaroon soggy. So the whole thing of it is keeping it kind of crunchy. So then you put this layer on there like that, and then last you put on. Okay, you guys, I have completed the wonderful, wonderful pecan macaroon Napoleon with a cream cheese and apricot peach compote. Oh my God, you guys, it is really, really awesome. I have already started digging into it and eating it, so I already know how great it is. You guys have to make it. My theme, of course, was yellow today, and I'm so glad you guys came and joined me. And thank you, Philadelphia cream cheese. Thank you, everybody, for watching my video, and I wish you guys a wonderful, wonderful Memorial Day. Thank you. Goodbye.